Good afternoon, Caps fans, and as Will Farrell's character in Spirited once said, good afternoon, I should say, for sure. Another great hockey afternoon here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. Coming up in our pregame show, we will have all sorts of things, including our scoreboard, our standings, a lineup, as well as your keys and puck drop here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. As before we get into all that, here's what's on tap for the game here today. Hey, Caps fans, this is Drew Steele, voice of the Capitals. Coming up on What's on Tap, we'll have last week's recap as well as looking ahead to this weekend as the Capitals set for their first 3-3 of 3 in the month of February. We'll also get to some deals and, of course, our goal of the weekend presented by our friends at Play It Against Sports. Let's get into it. Last week, the Capitals hosted the Tri-City Storm for a pair of games here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena on Friday. The Capitals were propelled by 2 Jack Brandt goals, and Patrick Berzinch was able to capture victory in his first game against his former team, the Capitals, with a 5-2 victory in that one. Then on Saturday, the Capitals were unable to complete the sweep. Still yet to have one here this season are the Capitals. Tri-City comes away with a 4-1 victory in Game 2 of that 2-game set. Capitals move to 17-11, 4-2 on the season as the Capitals look ahead to this weekend where they'll play 3 games. That's right, 3 games. Their first 3-3 of the month of February. It'll be 3 3-3s in February and a whole bunch of them down the stretch of the season. This is only the second one yet to date. The Capitals hit the road to Waterloo on Friday night to face off against the Blackhawks. It's a 7:05 puck drop there in Waterloo at Young Arena before traveling to Green Bay on Saturday. Up at the Resch Center, the Capitals will face off against the Gamblers for the 5th time this season. That matchup with the Gamblers, puck drop at 6:05. Then on Sunday, back here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena, the Capitals set to face off against the Muskegon Lumberjacks, the 5th matchup against the Lumberjacks here this season. Capitals have collected points in 3 of 4 games against Muskegon this season. Capitals on the road for the first 2, but back here at home on Sunday, where there'll be a post-game skate to welcome them back, including our Family Sunday Fun Day deal, which gets you a hot dog or a food item, a drink, as well as a ticket to the game, all for only $12. You can find the link to that deal on the Capitals social media page. Puck drop on Sunday scheduled for 3:05. Before we get going, it's time to take a look at our goal of the weekend presented by our friends at Play It Against Sports. This week, it's Rainers Rollers with the 2-0 tally over the Tri-City Storm on Friday night. The backdoor tap-in of a Charlie Michaud pass was the goal of the weekend. Here it is. For Bernovic, far side, Michaud pinched down. Michaud looking for options. Rollers backdoor, and he scores! Rainers Rollers extends the Capitals lead to 2. 44 seconds into period number 2. What a pretty play there from Rainers Rollers, Michaud and company for the Capitals in that 5-2 victory on Friday. A whole bunch of victories hopefully in the works coming up this week, and Capitals on the road on Friday and Saturday in Waterloo and Green Bay respectively before returning home on Sunday to face off against the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Post-game skate Family Sunday Fun Day deal, $12 tickets, food, drink included in the price of a ticket. You can find that link on the social media. All other tickets can be found at tickets.madcapshockey.com. One last thing before we go Caps go. Slam it home. Family scores!
Dear Winter, we're coming. Our squad of vehicles, with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of our game. Bundle up. Toyota.
Right now, you can get 3.99% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2024 Toyota RAV4. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Back here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena as the Capitals set to face off against the Muskegon Lumberjacks here on a Sunday afternoon. Thanks for joining me here in the press box at Cap Ice. My name is Drew Steele. I'll be captaining the ship going through your ear ocean all evening long. The Capitals are in need of a couple of points after 2 losses in back-to-back days. On Friday, the Capitals traveled to Waterloo, and a late goal gave the Blackhawks the win over Madison in regulation. Then last night, the Capitals beat 5-2 up in Green Bay as the Capitals welcome in Muskegon, who took down Chicago last night. Capitals come into the weekend, or come into today, I should say, in 5th place. They came into the weekend in 5th place as well, as the Capitals really need something here this afternoon. And right in front of them is Muskegon in the standings, although 8 points separate the two. A 4-point swing could be in effect if the Capitals are able to capture victory here in regulation this afternoon. So it should be a fun one here at Cap Ice for sure. Coming up in our pregame show, we'll have your keys to the game, your lineup, and it's all leading up to puck drop here at Cap Ice at 3:05. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on Caps Radio Network. Welcome back into Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. It's time to meet your lineups for this afternoon's contest, starting with the visiting Muskegon Lumberjacks. Ethan Whitcomb, Sasha Boisvert, and Justin Solovay up front for Muskegon on line 1. Joe Connor, David Klee, and Matvey Gridden on line 2. Henricks, Kroll, and Galanik on line 3, with Spitznagel, Pearson, and Raftery rounding out the lines of forwards. Wilson Dahlheimer, the extra forward tonight for Muskegon. On the back end, it's Bauer, Barry, along with Easton Young on pair 1, Xavier Veilleux and Ryan Koring on pair 2, Nordberg and Acoin on pair 3, Miles Gust, the extra defenseman tonight for the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Shika Gadziev, the goaltender tonight for the Muskegon Lumberjacks, comes in with a 4-4 0-0 record, a 3-1-2 goals against, and a 902 save percentage. The Lumberjacks are led by head coach Parker Burgess, assistant coaches Evan Trump, CJ Cush, and Adam Morrison. For your Madison Capitals this evening, Chris Delaney, Andrew Kuzma, Austin Bernovic up front on line 1. Mixing things up are the Capitals coaching staff, Finn Brink, Rullers, and Diego Johnson on line number 2. Brant Lamb and Nagel on line 3, with Long, Rice, and O'Donnell on the 4th line. Nate Murray, the extra skater tonight for Madison up front. Michaud and Elias as the first pair of defense. Ramsey Barlagi on pair 2. Jamison Toby on pair 3. James Mackey is the extra defenseman for the Capitals here this evening. Patrice Berzinch in goal, 8-7, 2-0 record, a 3-3-7 goals against, and an 8-9-1 save percentage. Scratches for the Capitals this evening: Jack Henry, James Hong, and Sam Capel. Henry due to injury, Hong due to pre-Olympic qualifying for South Korea, and Sam Capel. The Capitals are led by head coach and General Manager Andy Brandt, Associate Head Coach and Assistant GM Tom Gilbert, Assistant Coach Dominic Zambo, and Goaltending Coach Shane Connolly. A big one here at Cap Ice. Puck drop right around the corner. We'll have your keys and starters right after this. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on the Capitals Radio Network. Slam it home. Steele scores! A kind reminder that our pregame show is presented by Floor & Decor. Come explore our unmatched selection of high-quality products, all at everyday low prices, and see how easy creating the space to match your taste can be. Discover your new Floor & Decor, now open in Monona and online at flooranddecor.com. Starting lineups presented by MadCapsHockey.com. MadCapsHockey.com, your one-stop shop for all things Capitals this season. Ethan Whitcomb, Sasha Boisvert, and Justin Solovey up front for the Lumberjacks. Xavier Veilleux and Ryan Kohring on the back end. Shika Gajiev, the goaltender tonight for the Lumberjacks. On the other side for the Capitals, it's Brink, Rollers, and Johnson. Line number 2 tonight for the Capitals getting the start. Michaud and Elias, the first pair, getting the start on the back end. And Patrick Sperzinch in goal tonight for the Capitals. Key to the game, finish what you started. The Capitals have had leads in each of their past 2 games and have came away with 0 points on the weekend to this point. Really important not only for tonight and just getting points, but this could be a 4-point swing in the Eastern Conference standings. Capitals sit directly behind Muskegon, 8 points behind the Lumberjacks for the 4th seed in the conference. Capitals lose, they sit 10 points back. Capitals win, 6 points back of the Lumberjacks. So a big one here today at Cap Ice. Puck drop coming up in about 5 minutes. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on the Capitals Radio Network. We'll have it for you on Flow Hockey and Caps Radio coming up after this. An excellent rendition of the Star Spangled Banner here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena on a Sunday afternoon. It's Capitals Hockey live here on Flow Hockey and on Caps Radio on YouTube. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon. The Capitals, coming off of a pair of losses on Friday and Saturday night, could really use a bounce back here this afternoon as they face off against the team directly in front of them in the standings. A quick reminder that our broadcast this afternoon is brought to you by Floor & Decor. Come and explore our unmatched selection of high-quality products, all at everyday low prices, and see how easy creating the space to match your taste can be. Discover your new Floor & Decor, now open in Monona and online at flooranddecor.com. Capitals will wear their navy tops. It'll be all navy everything, trimmed with white and Columbia, moving right to left across your radio dial here on Caps Radio. They'll move right to left on Flow Hockey as well. On the other side, it's Muskegon, white helmets, white tops, black pants, and white socks, trimmed with gold and black throughout. An excellent afternoon for hockey here in Middleton. Our officials for tonight's games are Jared Cummins, the linesman Bryce Setzer, and Craig Ford. Capitals come in on a 3-game skid and could really use a bounce back, a 4-point swing in favor of whoever comes away with victory today. Big one here at Cap Ice. It's the two teams just about ready to get things started. Brink, Rollers, Johnson, Michaud, and Elias for the Capitals. Perzinch in goal. It's Whitcomb, Boisvert, Solvay, Bayo, Koring, and Gadzhiev in goal for Muskegon. Hockey afternoon just west of the capital city here in the state of Wisconsin. Jared Cummins gets the word that we're ready to go, and we're underway in Middleton. Puck won back by Rollers. The newly formed second line down the length of the ice. Icing waved off for the Capitals as they send it all the way down, and it starts up ice the other way on the stick of the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Boisvert, the North Dakota commit, feeds it up the middle of the ice, but he turns it over to the stick of Finn Brink, but goes and gets his own miss. The Capitals will clear out to neutral, where Ryan Koring will start things back the other way. Koring, the defenseman with the highest plus-minus in the USHL this season, towards the middle. Ethan Elias intercepts the Solvay pass, and he takes it into the corner, where the Lumberjacks back on possession. Koring with a shot, sends it to the far side. Johnson up that far side wall, able to play the body. Capitals will start back the other way. Rollers through neutral ice, sends it off the end wall. Brink will win the race to it. No icing on the play as Muskegon will go and recover, regroup inside their own defensive zone and start up towards the center of the ice, where Noah Barloghi, back in the lineup after missing his first game all season last night, will send it into the far side corner. Barloghi winds, sends one towards the goal, kicked into the corner. McVeigh Gridden will regain the shot for Muskegon and start back the other way. Joe Connor into the offensive zone, angles one towards Perzinch. They'll just cuddle on top of it for a whistle. 18:46 to go, period number 1. Thanks for joining us here on the Capitals Radio Network and company here as the Capitals in need of a big one here today. Faceoff will come on the far side to the right of Perzinch in goal here in a moment. Capitals were able to score quickly last night. By this point in the game, they already were up 1-0. Went to a power play, and it was Green Bay able to score shorthanded. They scored 2 shorthanded goals last night, did the Gamblers, up the middle of the ice. Young chases back after it for Muskegon, gets things moving forward, but it escapes the field of play up into the penalty box on the far side for another missile. A minute 27 into period number 1. Faceoff will come right at center ice. Newly formed top line back together, Delaney, Kuzma, and Bernovic for the Capitals. Rainers, Rollers, and Kuzma switch spots on the first and second line. Bernovic and Delaney kind of quiet over the past couple of games, which is oddly uncharacteristic for those two Capitals this season, both near or at 30 points on the year. This one sent down in deep by David Klee, acquired by Muskegon from Waterloo this offseason. Delaney gets that one moving forward, but once again it jumps out of play. It'll go into one of our suites here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena. Change will be allowed. A minute 40 into period number 1. Already our third whistle of the night. Face-off coming inside the Capital zone. Big one in the Eastern Conference standings here today. I think I phrased it as maybe the most important points Madison's had the chance to collect this season. A 4-point swing would allow the Capitals within 6 of Muskegon in the standings for 4th place. Shot from Joe Connor, kicked by Berzinch. He'll hop on top of it for a whistle. 18:09 to go in the first. Still 0-0 in this one. Face off to come on the near side to the right, left of Berzinch in goal. A little confusion between the referee and linesman on top of it there. Craig Ford, the linesman in the circle. Bryce Fetzer, the one manning the blue line. The referee for tonight, Jared Cummins. Ref the game Muskegon played last night against Chicago. Nagel towards the center of the ice. Nagel, Brandt, and Lamb together. Lamb up on the second line, or third line rather, for the Capitals. Lamb forces a turnover behind the net. A chance sits out front. Jack Brandt with a goal last night and one today as well. Jack Brandt gets the Capitals on the board first. 2 minutes and 6 seconds into period number 1. A turnover behind the net by the goaltender Sheik Agadzhiev for Muskegon results in a goal for Madison. Jack Brandt slams home his second of the weekend, 3rd in as many games. And the Capitals lead 1-0 early in this one. Jack Brandt, what a couple of weeks. Scored twice against Tri-City a couple of weeks back, or last Friday I should say, in the Capitals' 5-2 victory over the Storm. Mackey back inside the defensive zone will start things back the other way. Brandt, the goal number 5 of the season, 4 of those coming in the month of January. Elias down in the corner, feeds it out front, looking that time for Ronan O'Donnell, out of the lineup last night, but back in the lineup tonight for Madison. Instead, it goes all the way through back where Sam Rice will collect behind his own goal. Up the near side, Coring will hold his shot, deflected off the left pad of Berzinch, and the Capitals out towards neutral ice. A nice job by O'Donnell to just get possession. It'll be a high stick and eventually blown dead. Faceoff will come down inside the defensive zone for Madison. 17:18 to go, period number 1. 1-0 our score in favor of Madison. I believe Brendan Lamb should get an assist on that goal as well. Second assist of the season, forcing that turnover behind the goal. Gadzhiev just with the turnover, and it allows Madison this early lead. Face off in the defensive zone to the right of Berzinch. A look over where his Latvian countryman Rainers Rollers wins the draw forward to Diego Johnson. Johnson fumbled with it a bit. Big fight last night for Diego Johnson, where he took down Jason Gallucci of Green Bay. Down in the corner, Michaud tries to dig that one out, but Muskegon comes away with possession. Up the near side, Solove thinks better of it and eventually gets it up top to Coring at the point of shot. Deflects over the net and goes into the far side corner where Veilleux will play up to the point where Ethan Whitcomb holds his spot. Down into the corner, Veilleux back on it. Whitcomb on the far side, half wall. They exchange places, but not possession of the puck. A shot from Solove deflects, and the Capitals able to break the other way. Johnson will achieve the red line, feed it to cross to Brink in the middle. Brink now Rollers. Rollers on the top of the near side, sends one towards the goal. Gloved and held by Sheik Agadzhiev for the whistle. 16:34 to go, period number 1. Capitals in front early in this one. 1-0 our score here in this one. Face off will be on the near side to the right. Sheik Agadzhiev in goal. Top unit out there for Madison, a forward. On the back end, it's Jamison and Ramsey. Ramsey and Jamison both record an assist on Friday night in the Capitals win. Icing to come if Jamison wins the race. Jamison's pretty quick and will, in fact, win that race back all the way. Both of them record a point in that game on Friday against Waterloo. Ramsey, it was his first career USHL point. That one coming in game number 30 for him. Number 2 with the Capitals. Speaking of games played, congratulations to Austin Bernovic playing in game number 100 tonight for Madison. Of course, spent some time with the U.S. National Team Development Program prior to this season, but game number 36 for Bernovic on the year. Bernovic through neutral ice, tried to get down moving forward to Kuzma, intercepted and sent back the other way off the near side wall. Jamison will go recover and get things back out towards neutral ice. Bernovic has his stick lifted. Joe Connor picks up possession. It'll carry in for Muskegon on the far side towards the middle for Klee. Poked around a bit, and the Capitals will come back the other way. Kuzma has a 3-on-2 with him. Bernovic on the far side into the offensive zone looking for options. Sends one towards the goal. Deflected into the window behind. Sheik Agadzhiev for Muskegon back behind Bauer. Barry will pick up. Bring it around the wall to the near side where it's collected by Gridden. out front. Bernovic, shot over the goal. He's looking for goal number 24. He's been stuck on 23 for a couple of weeks. Stuck at point number 39 for a couple of weeks as well. Such a big part of this Capitals offense to this point of the season. Unable to collect points recently as Mackey hops up into the play offensively for Madison. Takes it up the near side wall. A couple of Caps go for a change. Down to the corner, Delaney chases after it now as well. As Bauer Berry down to the corner, unable to come away with it was Delaney. A coin comes in and sends it up that far side wall. Icing waved off as Toby made an attempt at the puck unsuccessfully. As Mackey will collect beneath the Capitals goal line. Hendricks turns it over. Capitals into the offensive zone. Nagel has Branton Lamb with him out front. Nagel puts it up top. No one home for Madison as the Caps were in the midst of a change. As this one comes all the way back out towards neutral ice, where it comes forward now on the stick of Hendricks. Hendricks for Muskegon. Thought about powering his way towards the goal. Instead sends it up to the point. Nordberg sends one. Shot deflected wide by a player out front. It was a coin down in the play offensively for this Muskegon squad. The Capitals back behind their own goal line once again. Elias whiffed on his pass. Hendricks goes and collects. Hendricks up that far side, cycles it down into the corner where chasing after it now is Salave. Salave there for a moment, takes it up the far side. Galanic turns it over and Madison back the other way. Nagel forward now for Lamb. A big hit for Muskegon. Their bench reacts as appropriately so. Long chips it down to the corner. There for it is Kohring. The Colorado College commit will start things back up ice the other way. Chipped into the near side. Berzinch kicks it into the corner. Elias realizes he has some time after his fight last night. Has a bubble on in that far side corner. The captain of the Capitals. Capitals should be glad that this team is wearing the navies at home this season. Much better wearing navy and much better on the road this season are the Capitals. A nice hit from Nate Murray, putting a player on his rear end. The Muskegon bench likes it as well, though, as the Capitals would have had possession back the other way. Instead, Kohring out towards neutral ice. Murray tried to glove it down. It'll be a hand pass. If it gets there, they say no hand pass. As it goes back, Kohring sends it down in deep for Muskegon nonetheless. Just north of 13 and a half to go. Period number one. Cap ice. Barloggy up that far side, unable to clear the zone. Held in a Raftery on the far side. Trying to feed it out front for Whitcomb was the centerman in Boisvert, the alternate captain for this squad. And one of the players that is going to be towards the top of the draft. No call will be there as Sam Rice taken down to the surface. Raftery back the other way, sends it right to the Capitals defenseman, and the Capitals back the other way. Brink angled off the puck. Rollers has Johnson with him. Johnson whiffs on it. The fan would have been an excellent one-timer. Instead, back the other way with numbers are the Lumberjacks. Raftery drops back for Boisvert, has his stick lifted, still feeds it out front. Jamison deflects into the corner, and the Capitals back the other way. A wide-open game, and why should we expect any different? Muskegon loves to play up and down. The Capitals do as well. Muskegon, one of the highest-scoring teams in the league this season, as also one of the teams who gives up the most amount of goals. Rollers with some speed, has Delaney with him on the far side. Rather, that's Diego Johnson. Johnson unable to maintain the passes. A little too far in front of him, and now it's back the other way on the stick of the Lumberjacks. Nice bounce. A coin collects. The tender for Muskegon has it poked away, but gains it right back in the high slot. A coin tries to take a shot, but a nice stick lift sends it off the side of the goal eventually anyway. Pearson up that far side, down to the corner now. On possession is Raftery. Raftery angled by, that time, Rollers. Rollers still taking a couple of hacks, and now Raftery on the far side, half wall back down to the corner for Pearson. Pearson looking for option. Backhands it into the corner for Spitznagel. Spitznagel, not his first rodeo here at Cap Ice. Played a game as an affiliate last season. Spitznagel tries to shoot that one short side. On top of it, Berzinch goes, and it's a goal. Spitznagel scores for Muskegon to tie things up at 1-aside, his second of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if they'll take a look at this one. As we'll take a look at it, he does get a stick on it. That's a great heads-up play by the forward there. Spitznagel, the Michigan commit, picks up goal number 2 and evens things at 1-aside. 11:49 to go, period number 1. We'll head back to center ice. Muskegon has some life on their bench. They'll send their second line out, first line out for Madison. The Capitals need a response here. They've scored first in all 3 games this weekend now. Haven't collected points in the first 2, need to here today. Kuzma scored in both of the games, sends one towards the goal. Gadzhiev sends that one out with the poke check. It'll go all the way out. And Joe Connor lifts the stick, but it'll be a penalty. Joe Connor heading to the box for a hook, which sends Madison to their first power play of the afternoon when we do return from our media timeout. Back here at Cap Ice, 13:04 to go in the first period of play in Chicago. 0-0 between the Gamblers and Steele. Madison, of course, tied with Muskegon at this point, 1-1. Tri-City leads Omaha a couple of minutes into the first there. All three games in action there, presented by MadCapsHockey.com. MadCapsHockey.com, your one-stop shop for all things Capitals this season. If you were watching the games the past couple nights, you'll notice that the Capitals mixed some power play units up. Michaud, Kuzma, Rice, Nagel, and Brink for Madison. Of course, things will change a little bit more with Jack Henry and James Hong out of the lineup tonight. Here's the penalty. This went in and kind of twisted Nathan Toby. Never had a chance at possession there. Joe Connor doesn't like the call, but he'll sit for 2 minutes nonetheless. Face-off will be on the far side. Capitals to their first power play of the night. Face-off will be on that far side, as I mentioned. Rice, Nagel, Brink, Kuzma, and Michaud for the Capitals. Capitals come in with a 15.9% power play percentage on the season. Muskegon 75.6% on the kill. Bryce Fetzer says, hold them up, boys. We get a warning. As the Capitals will start the power play by losing the draw, and they'll have to start back all the way behind their own goal. Berzic will backhand it up that far side. Michaud whiffs on it. Now Gridden tries to center that one for a Klee, where it's taken back behind the goal by Michaud. Michaud starts up the near side, thought about dropping back, cuts through. A nice job to get things moving forward. Sam Rice backhands it across, and now Kuzma into the offensive zone. A nice recovery after what appeared to be a broken play for Madison. Nagel trying to set things up. Kuzma on the far side, has Nagel on the near. Nagel on the top of the near side, circle shot that time. Nice save by Gadzhiev into the corner. Brink goes and collects for Madison. Tried to center it out front, instead Barry kind of gets a piece of it. Madison does go and recover, though. Sam Rice up top now for Michaud. Michaud thought about to Kuzma, instead takes it to the near side for Nagel. Back up top, Michaud. Michaud far side now, Kuzma. Kuzma, a shoot first player. Shot that time goes through, but goes wide. Nagel tries to get it up to the point for Michaud. Gridden has his stick lifted. Capitals hold the zone. Nagel on the near side half wall, looking for options. Back up top for Michaud. Minute into the power play. Kuzma with a shot. A nice shave by Gadzhiev for a whistle. Just under 10.5 to go in the first. 57 to go here on the Joe Connor minor. I have to say that Capitals power play unit looked like they had a little bit more than a couple other units in the past. Couple of shots towards the goal. Second unit comes onto the ice. Brandt, Bernovic, Johnson, Delaney, and Ramsey for the Capitals. Face off on that far side to the left to Gadzhiev in goal. Waver and Bernovic, the two-team centermen in the circle. Hold him up, boys. Dale Johnson a little too antsy on the far side. That is Craig Ford, the linesman, outside of the play. Face-off one back by Bernovic nonetheless. Ramsey to the far side for Bernovic. Bernovic looks for options near side. Now Delaney through his feet has to backtrack up to the point for Ramsey, where Ramsey just a little too far outside the zone as Bernovic will carry on the far side. Bernovic looking for options and cleared all the way down by Muskegon as he delayed for just long enough that the Lumberjacks were able to answer. Solove puts some pressure on Berzic, which allows Delaney to start up ice up that far side. Now Bernovic will carry into the offensive zone. Johnson throws on the brakes on the far side, half wall up top for Ramsey. Ramsey, first time you've seen him with a power play unit this season, as this is his third game with Madison. Delaney in the corner, up top for Ramsey. Ramsey far side, Bernovic, one-time shot that time, finds the back of the net. Austin Bernovic, goal number 24, point number 40. Capitals lead 2-1. Power play goal for Madison. Regains the lead. I wonder if there's a deflection along the way. There is by the defenseman in the Capitals. With 15 seconds left on the man advantage. Regain the lead 2-1. Excellent power play by both units there. Head coach and GM Andy Brandt looks down. Let's go. There might be some other words included in there, but the Capitals lead 2-1. Sean Ramsey with an assist, his second with the team since joining last week. Into the offensive zone, Pearson with a shot that goes over the goal. Rebound actually comes out to Spitznagel. Out to the point, Young will hold, but intercepted now by O'Donnell. O'Donnell looks for options, feeds it to the near side where it's intercepted. The intended pass was for Long. Instead, it comes back to the defense where Young will settle things down. Young looks for options, feeds it up the near side. In Long saw it the whole way as he gets tied up by Spitznagel. Spitznagel comes away with possession to Cooper Pearson. Muskegon into the offensive zone. Near side corner. Falling to his feet, Pearson. Jameson's stick nowhere near, so he just lost an edge in the process. Into the far side now, it's Raftery. Raftery tied up by Barloggy, but he spins off of it, feeds it to the middle, Jameson home, and now Jameson activates up the other way. Long at neutral ice, slowed down by the stick of Easton Young. He'll send it in. Gadzhiev will hold there. Now the Capitals go and take possession away. A nice job by Madison deep inside the offensive zone. I think it was Bernovic down in there. Rather, that's Ronan O'Donnell. Kuzma goes and collects for Madison. Kuzma on the near side half wall. Takes it down beneath the goal line. Tried to power his way towards the goal, but his stick lifted along the way. Puck never came with him, and Cooper Pearson comes back the other way for Muskegon. Bernovic picked his head up, plays it off the end wall. Kuzma chases after it. A shot that time goes wide. A nice job and a nice heads-up play by Bernovic as Muskegon still on their heels here. Madison with some hustle plays here early in this one. You wouldn't think it's the third game of the weekend by looking at how the team's skating thus far. Kuzma into the offensive zone. A coin whiffs on it. Sends it out towards neutral ice, and Muskegon able to clear back the other way on the stick of Galanic. Offside are the Lumberjacks. A little too antsy on the play was Ty Henricks, the Western Michigan commit, as that'll blow the play dead. 7:53 to go, period number one. 2-1 our score in favor of the Capitals. Goals from Bernovic and Brandt. Able to get things going, the Killer Bees. Austin Bernovic sits just one goal back of the Tier 1 record for the Capitals. Now for a season, 25 is that record at the moment. On the near side, the Capitals get things out of the zone, but Henricks will bring it right back in. Henricks takes the stick of Brink with him. Now a shot goes wide the whole way. He was looking for a deflection. Is now Johnson sends it out towards neutral, where Finn Brink will get things moving forward, but Nordberg spins it right back all the way down, where Berzinch will slow things down for Elias. Elias up the near side, Brink towards the middle, that time for Rullers. With speed come the Caps the other way. Rullers has Johnson on the far side, who advanced the zone down low. Rullers up to the point now. Michaud with a shot deflected along the way into the far side corner. Norberg rather spins it to the near side for a BU, and it's intercepted. Elias shot that time, trying to feed it through the 5-hole. Had a chance, but a nice job closing it was Gadzhiev. Rullers at the point, holds the zone down in the corner. It looked like for a moment, at least on that near side wall, kind of out of view for myself. As Muskegon able to clear, Michaud will carry into the offensive zone and eventually backhand down into the far side corner. Joe Connor, the first one on it for either side, gets it moving for Coring and up that far side wall. It takes an odd bounce off of a stanchion, but settled down by Muskegon nonetheless. Joe Connor back beneath the goal line on the far side, sends one towards the slot. A nice save by Berzinch, their second one as well. Matvey Gridin didn't have a chance at that one. It is another save by Berzinch, blows the play dead. Capitals needed some goaltending in a tight moment there, and they're able to hold things and play blown dead. 6:27. You'll see the overhead. Berzinch moving right to left, then left to right, and Gridin just couldn't catch the third opportunity, and the Capitals still maintain the lead. 6:27 to go, period number one. 2-1 our score. Hold them up, boys. Warning on the face-off. Causes a delay, and eventually the Capitals able to get things moving forward. Aiden Long sends it into the far side corner. Ronan O'Donnell chases after it. Gets it beneath the goal line for Rice. Out front looking for Long. Intercepted by Clee. And back the other way come the Lumberjacks. Connor into the offensive zone onside on that far side. Sends one towards the goal. Deflected into the corner by Berzinch. Rice up top now. Gridin intercepts. Far side Clee shot. Hopped on top of for a moment by Berzinch. Deflected high into the window. Out of the zone. It caroms all the way down as the Capitals chase back after it with a little bit of forecheck there and all the way down for a brief moment. The Capitals will start up that far side. Jumps over the stick of O'Donnell. No change allowed. 5:41 to go. Period number one. 2-1 our score in favor of the Capitals. A power play goal by Austin Bernovic earlier this period. Excellent crowd here at Bob Suter's Capitol Ice Arena yet again. Capitals with the smallest building in the league, in 7th in attendance this season, entering play this weekend out of 16. Still in that 7th place spot. Face-off won back by Boisvert. A coin tried to feed it back to him, and the Capitals send out towards neutral ice where it's tied up for a moment. Kuzma thought he had it. Eventually a coin will kick up that far side wall, and it backtracks to Boisvert, who turns it over to the way of Delaney. Deflected down, no icing on the play, as Kuzma will be the first to it for either side. Bodied off the puck by a coin and out towards neutral ice. A clean breakout for Muskegon. Solovey into the far side corner. Jamieson will use body positioning to gain possession back for the Capitals. A coin holds. Boisvert, far side, down to the corner now. Trying to wrap around was Solovey, and eventually Bernovic able to capture possession back for Madison. Turned over, Whitcomb does a nice job to pickpocket Colton Jamieson. Eventually the Capitals are able to get things out towards neutral ice. Kuzma and Delaney have a one-on-one. Delaney behind the defense. Chris Delaney with a shot that just ramps up the goaltender and into the window. Kuzma out towards neutral ice. Jamieson on possession. Kuzma in the middle. Looking for options now ahead for Delaney, who deflects it down. Delaney and Kuzma go for a change. Bernovic will as well. A nice little rush there by the top line for Madison. 4.5 to go here in the first period of play. Is up the far side now. Bernovic gets things moving forward to Brink. Brink through neutral ice. Brink thought about powering his way and eventually sent one towards the goal. Johnson in the slot. Shot that time blockered away by Gadzhiev. Up and out of play for a whistle. 4:18 to go in the first. 2-1 our score in favor of the Capitals. Face-off will be on the near side here in a moment. To the right of Gadzhiev in goal. Rollers in this second unit out there for Madison once again. Mackey and Elias join him on the back. Face-off won back by the Capitals. Brink, or rather that's Mackey, holds in. Rollers back to Mackey up top. Mackey sends one towards the goal, deflected wide. Brink's chopped up a little bit and out towards neutral ice. That one comes. It'll be Elias moving things forward. Rollers just unable to connect with Diego Johnson, and now back the other way come the Lumberjacks. Far side corner, Spitznagel with the lone Muskegon goal on the scoreboard today. Carring at the point, backhands one into the corner. Spitznagel takes a hack at it. 2 players from Muskegon go in after it. The Capitals only had one in the pile, and it looked like the Capitals were going to come away with possession, at least for a moment. Intercepted, and now a rush for Madison back the other way. Elias achieves the red line, sends that one down in deep. One Capital stays on the ice. That's Diego Johnson, who throws a hit in the corner. Pearson back beneath the goal line. Pickpocketed there by Brendan Lamb. Fed it out front for Jack Brandt, but intercepted along the way by Gadzhiev, and out towards neutral ice. Once again come the Lumberjacks. Galanic on the near side half wall. Has his brakes thrown on there by the defenseman in Michaud. Brandt continues it to Barloghi on the far side. Up that far side half wall. It's intercepted by the defenseman there. Pinching down was Cody Kroll, the captain for this team. Nagel into the offensive zone. Onside where the Capitals eventually ruled off after that puck was played a couple of times. Bryce Spencer blows that one dead. Under 3 to go, period number 1. 2-1 our score. Face-off will be on the near side to the right of Gadzhiev in the zone, but it'll be outside, just outside the Muskegon bench. Lamb, Brandt, Nagel, Ramsey, and Jamieson for the Capitals. Jamieson plays it over to Ramsey on the far side, who rings that one along the end wall where Brandt can collect. Brandt scored the first Capital goal in this period, scored the first goal last night for the Caps as well. Brandt looking for a second here this evening as it goes into the corner for Nagel. Nagel up that far side wall. Easton Young gets things moving up ice, deflects that one out towards neutral as the winger on that far side, Ty Henrik, fired from Fargo last year, and the Capitals counter back with Jamieson sending that one down in deep. No icing on the play, or rather they do say icing, but it's waved off by the far side linesman after a brief discussion for a moment, and Ramsey up the near side wall tries to get things out of the zone. They're unsuccessful at first, and now Galanic pinned up against the wall. A nice job by the Capitals to just play body positioning there on that one, and Jamieson will play that one out towards neutral ice, where it'll be chased back after by Nordberg. Nordberg towards the middle for a coin. A coin across the ice is Ty Henricks. Henricks pestered with along the way by Sam Rice and rings around the apron to the near side where Gridden will hold on for a moment before James Mackey takes it away. Rice up the center of the ice to the far side now. Murray into the offensive zone, drops back, has Rice with him. Rice had Long out front, got a piece of the puck, and Sam Rice that time was Nordberg, and now Long unable to intercept with enough possession to send that one down in deep, and eventually it's sent all the way down where a coin on possession. Nordberg back behind his own goal line. A minute and a half to go in the period. Into the offensive zone, it's Joe Connor with a shot. Deflected, it ramped up that time on Nathan Toby. Capitals clearance attempt unsuccessful. Connor collects and holds the line. Carring, far side now VU. VU shot that time, deflects wide as Klee continues things to Gridden. Gridden plays it off towards the center that time, and it deflects to Connor in the far side. Gridden on the near side half wall, plays it to the middle that time for Carring. Carring has it taken away, and the Capitals will start back the other way. Rice to Delaney. Delaney through neutral ice, backhands that one to the far side. 54 to go in period number 1. 2-1 our scores. It's sent down in the near side corner. Nathan Toby on possession for Madison. Poked away for a moment, but the Capitals do recover. Ethan Elias gets things moving to the far side half wall for Bernovic. Bernovic takes a couple of baseball hacks at it up that far side, and Kuzma collects and gets things moving back for Madison. Kuzma through the center of the ice and into the offensive zone. Onside are the Capitals, but Joe Connor shovels that one out towards neutral where Gridden has Boisvert with him. Gridden across the blue line would have been off, so the Lumberjacks have to go back out towards neutral. Barry forward for Veilleux. Veilleux has it poked away for a moment, which stutters his rush, and now Barry up that far side will achieve the red line and send that one down in deep. Elias gets a piece of it. Michaud up that far side. Bernovic trying to deflect that one out, and eventually will get it out of the zone. Easton Young backtracks all the way into his defensive zone, and that'll do it for our first 20 minutes of play here this evening. After that first period, the Capitals take a 2-1 lead into intermission, as we'll take a quick look at everything that happened in that first period. Here's that Jack Brandt goal. The backhand finds its way past Gadzhiev to take an early lead for Madison in this one. Then on the other side, Spitznagel's on his rear end, backhands one past Berzinch to tie things up. Bernovic's one-timer gave Madison the lead right back, and that's where we stand. A huge save by Berzinch in the process, as well as the Capitals maintain a 2-1 lead through 20 minutes of play. That'll do it for our first period coverage. When we come back, we'll have your intermission report on Caps Radio on YouTube, and right here on Flow Hockey. We'll see you in the second. Back here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena, it's time for your first period scoring summary here as, of course, we're here on Caps Radio on YouTube. Thanks for joining us here on the YouTube feed. Capitals lead 2-1. 2 minutes and 6 seconds into period number 1. It was Jack Brandt, goal number 5 of the season, scored last night as well for Madison, giving Madison that 1-0 lead early on. Teddy Spitzenagel on the other side picks up his second of the season 6 minutes later to even things at 1-1. Bernovic from Ramsey on the power play give Madison a 2-1 lead, 24th of the season for Bernovic, 40th point of the year from Ramsey. The scoring on that one is the Capitals with the 2-1 lead through 20 minutes of play here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. We'll have your out-of-town scoreboard presented by MadCapsHockey.com following this as we're listening to Capitals Hockey on Caps Radio on YouTube. Welcome back into the broadcast booth here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. Just a couple minutes away from period number 2 here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena as the Capitals with the 2-1 lead over Muskegon through 20 minutes. Around the league scoreboard presented by MadCapsHockey.com. MadCapsHockey.com, your one-stop shop for all things Capitals this season. After 20 in Geneva, 1-1, Chicago and Green Bay all squared up. Will Hughes with a pair of shorthanded goals last night against the Capitals. Scores again today to have Green Bay leveled with Chicago through one period of play there. And through 20 minutes in Kearney, Tri-City with a 4-0 lead over Omaha in that one. Puck drop of period number 2, just about 3 minutes away here at Cap Ice. You're listening to the Capitals Radio Network on YouTube. Capitals hockey live here on Flow Hockey and on Caps Radio on YouTube. Capitals lead 2-1 through the game's first period of regulation. We'll have the highlights for you here in just a moment. Jack Brandt, Austin Bernovic with the 2 goals. Let's actually take a look at them. Here's Jack Brandt, an all-out melee out front, backhanded home by Jack Brandt to give the Capitals a 1-0 lead. Then down at the other end, Spitznagel on his rear end, backhands one past Patrick Sperzine, his only blemish thus far, and goal for Madison. On the power play, Austin Bernovic slams that one home, 24th goal of the season, and that's where Madison sits through 20 minutes of play. Icing upcoming on Madison just 6 seconds into period number 2. 2 on our score. That's where we sit at the moment. Of course, Madison with the lead at the intermission. Can't ask for much more than that through 20 minutes. It's been a really fast-paced game to this point. Record when scoring first this season. Madison 9-8-0-0 on the season. 0-2 on the weekend when scoring first. And Muskegon 14 of their 23 wins come when they score the first goal. So scoring first is big for Muskegon as Diego Johnson will just shuffleboard that one down into the near side corner. Finn Brink goes and collects along the far side. Up that far side wall, he's bullied off the puck there by Coring. Coring forward for Boisvert, who has it in the feet of a Capitals defenseman. Elias will backhand it up that far side wall. Brink to the near side, but it deflects off of a Lumberjacks player's skate. And now it's a shot for Boisvert, who whiffs on it. It's in the corner now. Elias up the near side. Capitals unable to force it out. Sits out front for a moment before it's gathered in by Ethan Elias. Elias surveys the field of play, achieves the red line, sends that one down in deep, chasing after it. Now is Bayo. Bayo on that far side now for Coring. Coring just straight to a Capitals defender, and now Bernovic starts up ice. Poked off of his stick, Whitcomb there, as well as Solove and Spitznagel for Muskegon, who all go for changes now. A wholesale line change for this Lumberjack squad. Madison will send it down in deep, get a couple of changes themselves. And up the near side now, it's intercepted by the Capitals. Delaney will send it right back where it came from, down in deep. Solove will have to chase back after it for Muskegon. Glove down, Bernovic touches it next, or rather it'll be Muskegon touching it next to negate the hand pass. Barloggi down into the corner, it rings around to the far side along the kick plate for Delaney. Gridden tried to poke it past the defender there for Madison, and eventually he'll retrieve as Joe Connor sent that one up to him. A big hit, no call comes on it. Kuzma picked up as Barloggi goes and gathers behind the goal line to the far side. Now up that far side wall to Delaney. Delaney towards the middle, intercepted there by Young. Young now to Barry. Barry achieves the red line and will skate this one in himself. Achieves the offensive zone and throws on the brakes. Down into the corner, that one goes as a player tripped up for Madison. A chance goes wide. Delaney will just play it off the end wall, and on that far side, Bernovic behind the defense. Bernovic with one tonight, looking for another. Shot that time goes over the net. Looking for a tie of a single season Tier 1 record for Madison is Connor into the offensive zone. A shot held there by Berzinch. Connor goes in and snows the goaltender. Colton Jamieson doesn't like it too much. 17:47 to go in the second period. 2-1 our score. Joe Connor went in and just snowed Patrick Berzinch. Caps don't like it too much, but that's all right. They're going to have to get over it. Face-off will stay on the far side to the left of Berzinch in goal. Lamb and Kroll, the two centermen, face off one back by Muskegon in the slot. A shot that time goes wide, jumps off the window over to Nordberg, who holds in for Muskegon along the far side wall. Jamieson plays ahead for Lamb, now to Nagel. Lamb back to Nagel into the offensive zone. Onside are the Caps. Nagel in the near side corner plays it around to the far side along the kick plate to Jamieson, who holds in. Lamb deflects it, slowed it down a little too much. Nagel was waiting behind the goal. Cody Kroll goes in and gathers things in at least for a moment. Lamb will get it back though. Lamb near side for Brandt. Brandt looking for an option. Shot off of the shin pad of Philip Nordberg, who will try to play that one out of the zone. Held in for a moment by Toby, but out at neutral. Jamieson will send it right back where it came from. The goaltender for Muskegon will play things down for a moment. Gadzhiev forward now is poked along. Mackey tied up with a player there for the Lumberjacks, and eventually the Capitals are able to take over on possession and start back the other way. Nagel achieves the red line, plays it to the near side for Elias. He'll go for a change now. Elias down to the corner looking for Sam Rice. It goes along the kick plate to the far side now, where Aiden Long will slow things down. Muskegon was trying to continue that momentum out of the zone, and eventually they will get out, but that initial momentum unsuccessful. Henricks into the offensive zone, has it on the near side, looking for the wraparound. It appeared. Instead, he plays it out front. Coring with a shot. It's stopped along the way by Berzinch, and the Capitals back the other way. Long achieves the red line, sends it down and onto the goal. It looked like for a moment Gadzhiev watched it go by to his right as O'Donnell plays down to Sam Rice. Rice tries to lift the stick of a player on that far side. The Capitals will hold. It's in the feet that time of Charlie Michaud. Capitals keeping things inside the zone. Long up top, plays it to the near side for Barloggi. Off the near side wall, one times it towards the goal. Blockered high into the sky here at Cap Ice before gloved down and starting back the other way for the Lumberjacks. On the far side into the offensive zone, it's Raftery. Loses a wheel and picks things back up. Throws it out front where a mosh pit of players was waiting out front. A chance. Rebound sits there. The Capitals with a huge save and some momentum back the other way. Into the offensive zone. Long plays it down into the corner now. Bayo plays it to the far side and through neutral ice now come the Lumberjacks. A nice job with the back check there by Diego Johnson, and the Capitals able to pick up possession because of it. Ramsey looks for options up that far side. Brink into the offensive zone. O'Carey moving forward now for Rullers. Rullers has it poked away out at neutral. The Capitals regain possession and will send it down in deep. Having to touch up. Gadzhiev will hold for a moment before the Capitals right back on it. Lumberjacks clear the zone. Capitals right back in. I think I've heard that story once or twice here tonight. Here in the past couple of minutes as this one sent all the way down. Berzinch will slow it down for Jamieson, who picks up 5 minutes even into period number 2. Capitals still maintaining the same lead they held at intermission, 2-1. Jack Brandt and Austin Bernovic, the 2 goal scorers. Solove on the far side, near side for Whitcomb. Whitcomb looking for a shot that time. Backhand, a nice job with a huge save by Berzinch, who's on one today. 14:47 to go in the second. 2-1 our score. Patrick Berzinch has absolutely robbed Muskegon a couple of times, moving right to left on both of them. Just throwing out the glove in the left pad, hoping to get something in front of it. Sure enough, he does. As the faceoff will come inside the defensive zone. To the left of Berzinch in goal. 14:47 to go, period number 2. 2-1 our score. The referee, Jared Cummins, heads over to the benches to talk with the Muskegon coaching staff. Asked if the Capitals wanted a word. Andy Brandt kind of looked at him sideways there and was like, no, I'm good. We're in a good spot at the moment as Kuzma carries into the offensive zone. It's poked off of his stick just upon entry. Now a 3-on-1 back the other way. The linesman got in the way and it actually kind of played to the Capitals' benefit. Would have been a 3-on-1. Instead, it's a shot from that far side bottom circle. Shot that time by Solove up into the netting. Boisvert kind of looks at Bryce Fetzer, the linesman, asking, hey, you kind of got in our way, and would have been a 3-on-1. Capitals will take that 7 days a week. 5-0-2 in the period number 2. 2 on our score. 5:32, I should say, as the Capitals win the draw back. Mackey will play it off the end wall to the near side where Nathan Toby on possession. Toby up against the half wall, trying to play things forward. It's poked out of the zone. I don't know if Toby got a piece of it or the Lumberjacks are just trying to play it to the point. Either way, it does escape the zone. It'll be down in on net. Berzinch will cover for a whistle. 14:10 to go, second period. 2-1 our score. Another face-off in the defensive zone to follow for Madison. Playing their third game of the weekend. 4-3 loss to Waterloo on Friday night, followed by a 5-2 loss to Green Bay last night up at the Resch Center. Tons of travel, nice to be back at home. But would have been nicer to come back home with 4 points to your name. Instead, you're coming back with nothing, and this one goes out of play. No change will be allowed for Madison, but luckily if they wanted to make a change, they would have made it a couple of moments ago. Capitals, if they would have been able to pick up a pair of points in either of the two games, you'd be sitting 6 points back, and with a win today, you'd be 4 points back of Muskegon. Instead, you're 8 points back entering play today, so the best you can do after today is 6 points. And on pace for that right now, but still a lot of hockey left here in Middleton. Down inside the zone, Whitcomb tried to poke that one out front. A nice job by the Capitals to get things moving back the other way. Brandt through neutral ice now, backhand that one down in deep. Nagel will chase after it, Coring there as well. Nagel plays a nice job of body positioning that one. Brandt goes and digs it out for the Capitals. Nagel in that corner, gets things moving forward to Brandt. Still tied up there, and Brandt comes away with it behind the goal. Brandt taken down to his feet, but stays on possession throughout, and a nice job by Muskegon to get things towards the neutral zone, but Elias will hold for Madison. In the corner, Brandt has a couple of options out front, spins off of a stick check of Coring out front for Lamb. Lamb with a shot that time. A nice job by Gadzhiev for Muskegon, and now it's back the other way on the stick of Solove. Solove, sharp angle shot. Karam's all the way out towards neutral where he forces his own team to regroup. That one never got on Patrick Berzinch. It was from a sharp angle, too. Is that one through neutral ice now? Galanick into the offensive zone, has a player there in Dahlmeyer, the Monticello, Minnesota native, to the far side. Get things moving to Galanick. Galanick on that half wall, looking for options, played it down to the corner. Dahlmeyer skates around, trying to trip up. A penalty will be coming on Madison, the first of the night for the Capitals. Tied up in that corner, Capitals just trying to get possession. Sure enough, they do. Gadzhiev hustled to the bench to try to give way for an extra attacker. It won't matter. Capitals to the penalty box for the first time tonight coming into the game here this afternoon. The Capitals on the penalty kill, 76.6% on the year. Muskegon on the power play, 26.1%. Capitals number 9 in the league on the kill. Muskegon number 6 in the league on the power play, and with some headline names of Boisvert, Gridden, Connor, Young, and Whitcomb on the man advantage for Muskegon, you can kind of understand why. Michaud sits for a pair of minutes here. As hold them up, boys. We'll get a warning on the Lumberjacks. We'll have to start things back over once again. Face off on the near side to the right of Berzinch. Caps on the kill for the next 2 minutes. Gave up 2 shorthanded goals last night in Madison as Mackey will play things up the near side wall. Tied things up for a moment. Now 3 Capitals, only Aiden Long sits outside the pile. Barlagi looking just dig that one out with one hand and one hand on the other player, and it goes out. Berzinch will hold. Whistle 16 seconds into the Michaud Minor. Face-off will be in the defensive zone to the right of Berzinch in net when play does resume. Mackey, Long, Rollers, and Barlagi for Madison remain as well as the top power play unit for Muskegon. Face-off one back to Gridden. Gridden to the far side. Wickham, Young, shot, scored, all square to his side. Both teams 1 for 1 on the power play. Tic-tac-toe for Muskegon. And the Capitals 20 seconds into the kill give up a goal there. Easton Young scores for Muskegon, gives himself goal number 3 on the year. Whitcomb and Gridden pick up the assists on the goal. Face-off coming back at center ice. 12:28 remains in the second period. Didn't get what they wanted off the first face-off drop. Able to on the second. As we sit all square to his side. Almost halfway through the second period. Top unit responds for Madison out onto the ice. Face-off one back by Muskegon. Up that far side now, Sean Ramsey will glove that one down and start things back up the near side. Bernovic towards the middle. Kuzma through neutral ice. Far side, Delaney. Delaney backs up into the zone. Tried to backhand that one towards the middle for Bernovic. Instead, it goes out towards the slot where Barlagi won't be able to hold on the blue line and all the way down inside the offensive zone. Capitals turn it over, and now numbers back the other way for Muskegon. Ramsey trying to play things, and Connor offside are the Lumberjacks. That'll give us our media timeout here in period number 2, which means it's a great time to take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard presented by our friends at MadCapsHockey.com. MadCapsHockey.com, your one-stop shop for all things Capitals this season. 13:42 remains in the second period in Geneva. Chicago and Green Bay still all tied up at 1 aside, 4-0. Our score still in Kearney as Tri-City holds the lead over Omaha just about 30 seconds into period number 2 there. Wheeling to Win, one of my favorite promotions from last season, returned last week. We have some flannel going against flannel, and they're hustling down the ice surface here. Helmets on both, but it looks like the Navy helmet's going to have a chance. White helmet's catching up, though. Wearing almost the identical outfit. And the win by the Navy helmet. Hoping the Navy helmets can beat the white helmets today as well. Our Capitals fans here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena. Maybe that's a brief preview. Although the flannel kind of gives me lumberjack vibes more than anything. 11:59 to go in the second period. 2-2 our score. As we welcome you back into the press box here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena. Rollers, Johnson, Brink for the Capitals is the most recent goal coming from Muskegon on the power play as they kind of have momentum at this point in the game. Down in the corner, Toby trying to get things started back the other way. Instead, it's on the stick that time of Gridden on the far side. Gridden to Coring. Coring with a shot. A nice save by Berzinch, who holds on for a whistle. 11:44 to go, period number 2. All squared at 2 as a faceoff to follow in the defensive zone for Madison. Pair of power play goals, 1 for each side. Our goal had even strength for both sides. Really, both those even strength goals kind of coming in the same situation. All-out melee out front. Jack Brandt slams one home on the back end to give Madison a 1-0 lead at the time. Teddy Spitznagel on the other end from his rear end, able to get things past the goaltender of the Capitals, Berzinch, and the Capitals back the other way. As things all squared to a side. Face-off just outside the offensive zone for Madison as this one pops out of play. Brandt, Lamb, Nagel, Mackey, and Elias for the Capitals. Face-off of coming on the far side, opposite the Capitals bench. The face-off's won back by the Caps. Elias on the near side will send that one down. It'll ring around the wall to the far side where Easton Young, our most recent goal scorer, can get things out of the zone for Muskegon. The Capitals will regroup at neutral. Brandt achieves the red line, gets it to Brandt. Brandt moving forward now as Lamb and him play pitch and catch for a moment. Nagel to Lamb, shot that time, rings off the post. You heard it here at Cap Ice. And into the corner now. It'll be Bauer-Berry just sending this one out towards neutral where Mackey will kick things forward to his captain Elias. Far side Long, rings that one down into the zone. A couple of changes for Madison allow pretty easy breakout for Muskegon up that far side. Mackey deflects that one. It'll be outside the zone for the face-off as it deflects up into the rafters here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena. Here's that most recent shot from Lamb right off the post. You heard it here, the bar ringing throughout the arena here in Middleton. Capitals all square. Face-off one back. Barry just inside the offensive half of the ice, sends it around, and it'll ring around the kick plate to the far side, but Aiden Long will settle things down and get things moving forward for Madison. Leaves there for Rice, and Rice didn't realize that's what he was doing. And now coming forward are the Lumberjacks. A nice recovery by Barlagi, and the Capitals back the other way on the stick of Nate Murray. Murray, the extra forward tonight, a shot glove down by Gagiev, who holds on for a whistle. 10:31 to go in the second, 2-2 our score. Face-off upcoming in the offensive zone on the far side to the right of Gagiev in goal. Gagiev has to regroup with his equipment. Realized that he was on the Jumbotron. Surprised he didn't wave to his parents at home. Face-off on the far side to the right of Gagiev. Top line out there for Madison. Fourth line for Muskegon. Face-off this time is won back by Kuzma. Brnovic gets it back to Michaud. Delaney, shot to the near side, bounces to Brnovic off the end wall and comes to the half wall where Brnovic now maintains. Kuzma in the corner. Kuzma looking for options, thought about getting it to the point, but he'll spin off of a Cooper Pearson stick check and takes it behind the goal line now. Kuzma on the near side corner, still looking for options, gets it down to the corner now for Delaney. Delaney cycles it up to Kuzma. Barlagi holds in as now it's an all-out foot race. Spitznagel has it poked away by Barlagi. Will play the body up that far side. Capitals had some good offensive zone time, but nothing to show for it, not even a shot attempt. As Barlagi kind of lost possession, and now the Capitals on their heels. Nordberg up at the point, sends one towards the goal. Stopped by the stomach that time of Berzinch, who also collects the skate that time of Barlagi and holds on for a whistle. 9:43 to go in the second. Barlagi awkwardly falls to the surface. Face-off upcoming in the defensive zone. Leap to the left of Berzinch on that far side face-off circle where you saw the Lumberjacks start to group up on that far side. Rice, Long, and Murray for Madison. Jamison and Ramsey join him on the back end. They just went a couple of shifts ago too, so head coach and general manager Andy Brandt must like what he's seeing. I know Dominic Zombo helping out with the forwards here today, the assistant coach for the Capitals. Nice job by Nordberg to maintain through a couple of stick checks and backs it out to a Coyne who comes forward. Spitznagel jumps around the stick check, and that one pops out of play. Faceoff will come outside the zone, I believe. Bryce Fetzer and Jared Cummins discussed, as well as Craig Ford, to see where that faceoff should be held. I believe outside the zone is probably the right decision. Sure enough, that one is the right decision made. A couple of people don't like the call, and Ethan Whitcomb getting an explanation, as well as Parker Burgess. Burgess not liking the decision. Face-off just outside the Muskegon bench now, though. We're all square at two aside. Hold him up, boys. A warning given to Madison. And eventually the face-off won back by Muskegon. Nordberg will carry into the offensive zone after receiving the pass from his defensive partner in a Coyne. Up that far side wall, it escapes the zone, or rather barely held in at the line by Boisvert. Jamison now up the near side wall. Johnson tied up, but a Coyne doesn't worry about possession. Brink hustles down for it and gets it for Madison. Brink tries to power his way towards the goal, but he's kind of held up there for a moment. And out of the zone come the Lumberjacks back the other way. Solove towards the middle, a Coyne a bit too far in front of him. Icing up coming on the Lumberjacks. 8:54 to go, period number 2. 2-2 our score here in Middleton. 4th and 5th ranked teams in the Eastern Conference going at it. Green Bay and Chicago, the only other Eastern Conference teams active today. The rest dormant this evening. Still afternoon, I guess, at 4 o'clock. Late afternoon here in Middleton. Rullers, Johnson, and Brink remain out there for Madison as the faceoff is won back by Muskegon. They play it off the end wall to a coin who starts up ice. This one sent all the way down. It'll be icing if it gets there, and it doesn't actually achieve the goal line ever. It's a nice hustle by Solove to catch up to it before it gets there. Down in the corner, Whitcomb continues it along. Far side, Boisvert. Up top now for Conring. Conring looking for an option shot, deflected up high into the glass behind Berzinch. Back beneath the goal line. To his side, work in the corner. Toby unable to bully his way out of that one as Veillot in the near side will play it down in the corner for Solove. Whitcomb now on possession. Whitcomb will play up the near side wall. Mackey takes a couple of hacks at the stick, and Boisvert plays it around to the far side where Conring holds. A nice job to play the body there by Finn Brink. Toby gets tied up in the far side corner now, though, as the Capitals go and try to dig this one out. Mackey will come away with it and get things moving up ice to Brink. Brink chips that one along, glove down by Veillot. Veillot will be pestered along by Diego Johnson that time. Johnson kind of drug him down to his rear end. No call comes from it as now Boisvert into the offensive zone. Solove turns it over. Capitals on possession, out towards neutral ice. Diego Johnson hustles after it. Johnson behind the defense. Johnson with a chance. Backhands that one, and a nice job to use the body by Ryan Conring to keep body between puck that time and keep his body between Diego Johnson and scoring a goal that would have gave Madison a 3-2 lead. Face-off will be on the near side to the left of the goaltender, Gadzhiev, here in a moment. Nagel, Lamb, Brandt, Elias, Michaud for Madison. This line's had some pop to him tonight. Brandt scored a goal 2 minutes in. Couple changes in the lineup tonight. Hong out today as well as next weekend due to some pre-Olympic qualifying for South Korea. Nagel on the near side. He'll play that one towards the middle. Jack Brandt tried to slow it down for Lamb. Instead, it's back the other way. Elias with a foot race as Berzinch plays it off the end wall. Connor with a shot. A nice job by Berzinch to retreat to his goal. Klee loses an edge, and the Capitals will start back the other way. Icing upcoming on Madison. 7:24 to go. Second period. 2-2 our score. Berzinch with the heads-up play to play the puck, but awkwardly played it right to a Muskegon player. Recovered nicely there, though. Face-off to come to his right in goal now. Lamb and his unit forced to remain. Muskegon okay to keep the same players out there. Face-off this time is won back by Muskegon, held in at the line, or rather not, by the defenseman just on the near side. Joe Connor was there, as well as the defenseman for Muskegon in the form of Miles Gust. Gust comes to this Muskegon squad after playing in the SJHL with the LaRange Ice Wolves. Face-off one back, Gust at the red line. Thought about pinning it over to his defensive partner, eventually will. Threw the stick that time at Chris Delaney and sent down in deep. Berzinch will play it and slow it down. Michaud on the far side has a turnover come his way, and Berzinch just holds for a whistle. 7:08 to go in the second. 2-2 still remains our score as a face-off upcoming in the defensive zone for Madison. Face-off on the far side to the left of Berzinch in goal. Klee's second unit for Muskegon still remains out there. Gridden with a shot that deflected into the corner. Blocked along the way by the Capitals. Connor in the near side corner. Working there for Madison as it's chopped up against the wall. Barlagi rings it around to the far side. Nordberg loses an edge, and the Capitals almost were able to take a break back the other way. Connor had a rebound come out to him there, and the Capitals trying to take over of possession and get things moving forward. Instead, it's held in by a coin. Ramsey picks up in the corner, loses his stick in the process, and now Delaney starts back the other way for Madison. Kuzma with some speed. Kuzma on the near side, forces his way to the middle. Kuzma with a shot, and he scores! Andrew Kuzma gives Madison a 3-2 lead. What a play! Thought he was going to the outside to the defenseman. He just quickly goes back to the end. Andrew Kuzma regains the lead for Madison. Loses a coin right there. Forces his way to the middle, splits the defense, beats him blocker side, and the Capitals lead 3-2. Kuzma with 4 goals on the weekend now. Number 17 of the season, 37 of his career, point number 71 of his career. You see it from that far angle a lot better. Had a coin going all over the ice. Welcome to the league, Rook. Face-off back at center ice. One back by the Capitals as Toby starts things back the other way. They collide with one another through Rice and Long, and that one sent up into the rafters here at Cap Ice. Long a little slower to get up. Breaks his stick in the process, it appears. Capitals will make a change. Cameron Coyne, 6 points on the season. 25th game he's participated in. Tender for this Muskegon squad. Had a whole bunch of speed coming right at him, and that's something he'll pick up over the next couple of years in this league. Let the player play to the outside and don't really fight that one too much. He's played great here tonight, just the one mistake for the rookie. And as now Rollers up that far side wall, putting some pressure. Near side now, Johnson will take it into the offensive zone as soon as Rollers touches up. Tries to play it to the middle for Rollers. Instead, it's back out towards neutral. Brink regains possession for Madison. Tried to feed it to the near side for Johnson and down to the corner. Out front, looking for Johnson. A nice job by the captain, Cody Kroll, to regain possession. But Rollers will hold and send it into the near side corner. Capitals chase after it. Jumped out of the zone, and now it's Henricks and Kroll going back the other way. Henricks offside. 5:41 remain in the second. 3-2 the score. Face-off coming outside the defensive zone. Wickham, Boisvert, Dahlheimer, Barry, and Young. Face-off, one back that time by the Capitals. Out at neutral ice, the Capitals try to get possession moving that way, and eventually they do. Jack Brandt through neutral ice, chips that one around, and he'll start things back the other way. On the far side, Brandt plays it down into the corner, up that far side wall towards the middle now. Whitcomb on possession. Whitcomb. Whitcomb on his backhand, retrieved that one. Tries to walk Ethan Elias, unable to, and it goes into the corner. Feeds it out front, and now the Capitals try to start things back the other way. Max Nagel was the one trying to get things moving. Berzine chops on top of it for a whistle, just north of 5 minutes to go in the second period. Face-off upcoming on the near side to the right of Berzine in goal. Capitals with the 3-2 lead. Andrew Kuzma with the most recent goal for Madison. Face-off on the near side to the right of Berzine in net. Barlagi on the near side starts up ice now. Barlagi through neutral, achieves the red line and sends that one down in deep. Gaggia will be forced to play it to the near side, where Boisvert to the far through Salve into the offensive zone. Salve, near side, Rice picks up for Madison. Rice will play up the near side wall. Therefore, it's O'Donnell, and now Michaud jumps into the play offensively. Activating himself up that far side wall. Tried to feed it to Rice. Got too much elevation on that one and comes to the near side wall where Rice plays to Long. Long, back to Rice. Rice trying to power his way towards the goal. Backhands that one just wide. Takes a player into the wall, but that player in the form of Bauer Berry able to get things out all the way down. It'll go. Michaud tries to play that one back. That should have been a hold on the player there. Whitcomb and company will have to stay on. Berry should have to stay as well. Andy Brandt doesn't like the hold. He quite literally just pulled on the jersey. Sure enough, Whitcomb is going to the penalty box. Capitals to their second power play. A hold upcoming on Ethan Whitcomb. Looks like Ronan O'Donnell's heading to the penalty box as well, though. Maybe the hold not coming up. 4-on-4 upcoming. Interesting. I didn't see the tie-up. I thought maybe the pullback on the jersey might have got him when the initial penalty was called, but 4-on-4 will be the ruling. Head coach and GM Andy Brandt not liking this. 4-on-4 is going to allow the Capitals to make a couple of changes. Offensive zone draw to start the 4-on-4 time. It is the hold on Whitcomb. I didn't quite see what the motion was on O'Donnell. Either way, it's an offensive zone draw. Face-off on the far side, 4-on-4. Kuzma, Bernovic, Jamison, and Ramsey for Madison. The other side, it's Kroll, Gridden, Veo, and Karen. Hold them up, boys. Kuzma a bit too antsy there. The face-off one back to the point. Ramsey on possession, looking for options. He'll play it down in the far side corner where it rings around to the near side. Veo up that far side once again. Karen gets it back to Veo. Veo back to Karen, but it's intercepted along the way. And it looked like it almost pounced his way into the back of the net. Instead, it's in the slot now. Bernovic tried to poke at it. Instead, Cody Kroll will backtrack and regroup for his team and start up ice. 20 seconds into 4-on-4 time. Gridden and Jamison go at it on the near side. Jamison got a piece of the puck initially, and the two tie up in the corner. Gridden trying to bounce away from it. And on that far side corner, Ramsey able to get things back to Jamison as the Caps start up ice. Kuzma, a 2-on-2 with Bernovic ahead of him. Kuzma through neutral ice now puts the burners on. Kuzma trying to power his way towards the goal unsuccessfully that time. Up top, Michaud. Michaud back to Kuzma on the half wall. Kuzma tried to feed it to the far side as Jamison had already went for a change, and now it's a 2-on-2 back the other way. Far side. Kroll in the high slot looking for options. Shot that time goes wide. Karams, and now the Capitals will have a chance. Bernovic in all alone. A nice job by Young to get back, but Bernovic's shot deflects off of his shin pad wide. Caps will go get the rest of their changes as Gridden has a chance with the breakaway and gets it in his feet. Kroll now toe drags around. A nice job by Berzinch, and the Capitals back the other way once again. A coin beat that time by Brink. Brink now in all alone. Brink with the backhand. A nice job by Gadzhiev to keep that one out of the cage. A coin's been a little bit shaky at points in this one with the game pace picking up as Elias knocked down to his feet, and now Brink picks things back up for Madison. 22 to go of 4-on-4 time. Brink ahead looking to chip things forward for Rollers. Young retrieves for Muskegon, and the Capitals with a couple of chances here on 4-on-4 time. Pearson over to the far side now and into the offensive zone comes Galanik. A coin. Far side for Young. Young down in the corner. O'Donnell and company will stay on the ice for this little rush. It's the Capitals with 2 minutes left in the period still maintaining a 3-2 lead. Capitals send a player up ice. That's O'Donnell. Gets a piece of it, and the chase is after it. Gadzhiev plays it up that far side wall. O'Donnell almost got a piece of it. He'll go for a change now as the Capitals send out their third unit of Lamb, Nagel, and Brandt. Up the near side wall, Barry into the offensive zone. Up against the wall, Nagel. Toby in the corner, turns it over. Out front, chance now for Barry. A shot just escalated a little too high. Is on the far side now. Solove plays it where Barry unable to capture it. And now a 2-on-1 for Madison back the other way. Lamb has Brandt with him. Lamb, Brandt, near side shot. Gadzhiev with a huge save. And now it's Muskegon back the other way. A track meet here at Cap Ice as Boisvert backhands it through his legs and out towards neutral ice. Could have been too many. A nice job by Veo to not touch up. 1:10 to go in the second period. 3-2 our score as the Capitals on their heels once again. Back inside the defensive zone. James Mackey plays it that time to Toby. Toby will play it up the near side wall. Nagel tries to poke things out of the zone. Unsuccessful on his first attempt. Solove plays it down to the corner where now Whitcomb on possession. Mackey plays up against Whitcomb. Boisvert skates away with it. Boisvert in the corner with 45 to go in the period. Up top to Veo. Veo holds in and sends it into the corner where it'll be another outrace in the corner. Toby and Solove. Solove on that far side face-off dot, plays it up to the point for Kallring. Kallring back to Solove, who lets it go for Whitcomb. Whitcomb tied up by Mackey with 30 to go in the period. Solove goes and picks things up. Solove up at the blue line, sends one into the near side corner. As Muskegon with a huge possession here, and they'll want one from it. Boisvert tries to send one out, and now it's a race to it out towards neutral ice. Veo out at the blue line. A nice job by Long to get a piece of it. One change allowed for Madison with 8 seconds to go in the period. Mackey will play things down. play things forward now to the far side as Long has it poked off of his stick. A nice end of the period for Muskegon, but the Capitals will skate away with a 3-2 lead through 40 minutes here at Bob Suiter's Capitol Ice Arena. Track meet starting there at the end of the period. Lots of tired bodies, but here's that first goal from Easton Young on the power play to get Muskegon all squared at 2 aside. The angle from the near side, a tic-tac-toe play, and then Andrew Kuzma has a coin going all over the place, able to beat the goaltender Gadzhiev in the face-off to come back at center ice after everything. Capitals with a 3-2 lead as we head to the second intermission. We'll be back with your intermission report on Caps Radio on YouTube. As for Flow Hockey, we'll see you in the third. Back here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena, it's time for your first period scoring summary and second period as well. I'll throw that in, why not? In the first, it was Jack Brandt, 2:06 into period number 1, giving Madison the early lead. Teddy Spitznagel with the answer 6 minutes later to get the game all square at 1-1. Austin Bernovic pinballs one back the other way for Madison on the one-timer on the power play to get Madison a 2-1 lead at the first break. 7:32 into the second, Easton Young on the power play gave Muskegon life at 2-2. Andrew Kuzma, though, splits the defense 6 minutes later to give Madison a 3-2 lead. So that's where we sit with 20 minutes of regulation to play here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena. 12:32 on the penalty, or rather on the intermission clock, as that's when we'll return to play, but we'll have your out-of-town scoreboard coming up after this. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on the home for the Madison Capitals, the Caps Radio Network on YouTube. Back here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena, it's time to take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard presented by our friends at MadCapsHockey.com. MadCapsHockey.com, your one-stop shop for all things Capitals each and every season. Green Bay and Chicago tied up at 1 after 2 periods of play. 2 goals late in the first are all that's on the scoreboard in that one. Both team 0 for on the man advantage there. Here, of course, one for one on the power play is the story for both Madison and Muskegon, and Tri-City with a huge lead over Omaha and Kearney at the moment. 6-1 the score there. Omaha's lone goal comes on the man advantage, being outshot 27-12 with 4 minutes to go in the second period of play. Puck drop of period number 2 right around the corner. Period number 3, pardon. This afternoon's contest stretching into the early evening here in Middleton. What a night to be at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. We'll be back after this on Caps Radio on YouTube. Madison Capitals hockey right here on Flow Hockey and on Caps Radio on YouTube. What a night to be here at the arena as the Capitals skate to a 3-2 victory through 40 minutes of play. Easton Young with the power play goal in period number 2. And then down at the other end, Andrew Kuzma will split the defense. Had Cameron Acoin going all over the place, and Kuzma able to strike for goal 17 of the season to give Madison the 3-2 lead back as the Capitals head into this third and final period of regulation with the lead. Capitals hockey right here on Flow Hockey on Caps Radio on YouTube is brought to you by Floor & Decor. Come and explore our unmatched selection of high-quality products, all at everyday low prices, and see how easy creating the space to match your taste can be. Discover your new Floor & Decor, now open in Monona and online at flooranddecor.com. 20 minutes put on the board. Score to stay the same. The Capitals would skate away with 2 points, but still a lot of hockey left before then. We head to this third period of play. Capitals will travel right to left just as they did in period number 1, wearing the navy tops here in the second half of the season at home. Muskegon left to right, wearing the white tops. Hold them up, boys. We'll get a hold up on the face-off, so we'll have to wait a couple of moments before being able to start things back up here. When Madison leads after 2 periods this season, 13-0-0-1. Muskegon, when trailing after 2 this season, 1-14-1-1, as this one sent into the offensive zone by Madison, but they quickly gloved that one down and send things back into the offensive zone. Brink in the high slot with a shot that time that jumps up and out of play for a whistle. 14 seconds into period number 3. Our score still 3-2 goals in the game from Brandt, Bernovic, and Kuzma in order both alphabetically and chronologically here today, as a face-off on the far side to the left of Gadzhiev in goal. Shots on goal through 2 periods of play. Muskegon's got the slight edge, 24-19, even after the first, and Muskegon with an edge after 2. Is this one a 2-on-1? Boisvert has Solivay with him, and we're even 28 seconds into the period. An assist goes to the equipment manager, and the bench goes nuts for him. Boisvert points along the way. Boisvert and the bench go wild for the equipment manager. Boisvert hops over the wall, gets the high five, and a big assist there as Boisvert with the goal beats Berzinch glove side, and we're all square, 3-3, 28 seconds into period number 3. Faceoff will come back to center ice. Kuzma and Klee, the 2-team centermen, back at center, and hold them up, boys. Klee never had a chance to be ready for it, so we have to redrop here in a moment. Bernovic, Kuzma, Delaney. Face-off, one back by the Capitals is Barlagi. Ramsey up the near side, Delaney to the far side, Barlagi into the offensive zone. No icing as it catches an edge as Bauer-Berry spins up that far side wall. A nice job to get a piece of it, but they're unsuccessful on getting all of it, and out towards neutral and all the way down come the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Pulling a player down to the ice, David Klee, and then Gridden throws it in the back of the goal after the whistle. That could be 2 penalties. I don't know if they'll call the one on Gridden, but the Capitals go after him. I think you have to put Gridden in the penalty box as well. He threw it in the back of the net after the whistle. Sure, Cleese is a penalty, but I don't see a world where you can't also give one to Matt Day Gridden after all that. Gridden looked apologetic as soon as it happened, but only Klee will head to the penalty box. Chris Delaney arguing that there should be another penalty. Power play to come for Madison, 1-for-1 on the man advantage tonight. Joe Connor asking why wasn't there a second call. Whitcomb asking as well. If you give another one to Madison, you're going to get another one in that situation too if you're Muskegon. Burgess will come down and argue with the referee, Jared Cummins. I just don't see a world where if they give Madison another penalty, they wouldn't give Muskegon another one. You see, Klee clearly drags Barlagi to the ice surface. Delaney goes after Gridden, rightfully so, after he sends one into the back of the net after the whistle. So either way, if you're going to send a player to the penalty box again, you would probably send Barlagi and Gridden again. So nonetheless, it would end up being 5-on-4 either way. I don't see a world where that's not 5-on-4. Parker Burgess asking for an explanation, gets one there. But the Capitals will head to the power play. Andy Brent goes, yeah, I'm all good. I understand what happened there. I don't really need an explanation. Face-off will be on the near side to the right as the face-off won back by the Capitals, eventually up to the point to Ramsey. Ramsey straddles the blue line, near side for Brandt, near side again for Delaney, backdoor. Ramsey with a shot, that time blocked along the way. A nice heat, and now it's back the other way. 2-on-2, Cody Kroll into the offensive zone, just has to beat a couple of forwards, unable to do so at first. They'll back it out and kill some time off. Going back to Joe Connor. Veillot on the near side will send that one down in deep. Berzinch will stop it with his pad and slow things down to Delaney. Will throw on the brakes and go back the other way. Delaney drops to Brnovic on the far side. Brnovic has some pressure put on him, and Ramsey now behind the goal line, 32 seconds into the power play, will start back up ice. The initial chance, the best thus far for Madison, is Johnson backtracks to Brnovic. Brnovic tied up there for a moment, but gets things moving forward still. Diego into the offensive zone. Johnson will play it into the corner as Brnovic chips it around to Delaney. Delaney tried to feed it out front. Scrambling for it was Johnson. Johnson gets a couple of hacks at the head from Joe Connor. Getting chippy here late in this one. 1:05 remains on the power play. 18-13 to go here in the third. Faceoff will be in the offensive zone on the far side to the left of Gadzhiev in goal as the second power play unit steps onto the ice for Madison. Michaud, Kuzma, Rice, Brink, and Nagel for Madison. Other side, it's Boisvert, Gridden, Barry, and Nordberg for Muskegon. Not afraid to put out their top-end offensive talent on the kill. Face-off one forward by Muskegon. Gridden puts some pressure on Michaud, and now Kuzma on the far side gives it over to Michaud once again, and Michaud will take it behind the goal and start up that far side. Michaud steps out to the right and will continue up ice and thought about dropping back and eventually will, and it actually just isn't connecting that time. Of course, Max Nagel taking the place of James Hong on this power play unit as Kuzma puts some stick handling to work as Kuzma is stripped to the puck and sent all the way down, where Nagel will have to track back on his own half wall. Michaud on the far side will step out to the near now and get things moving forward. Thought about dropping back to Kuzma and eventually will to Nagel. Nagel tried to thread the needle, and now it's a 1-on-0. Swatcha Boisvert behind the defense. Boisvert with a shot, and he scores shorthanded. Second straight goal with Sasha Boisvert scoring shorthanded. Capitals have given up 3 shorthanded goals over the past 2 games now, and now Boisvert gives Muskegon the 4-3 lead in period number 3. Forehand, backhand beats Berzinch on the glove side. Capitals will come out to neutral ice, and Madison, any momentum they had has been lost. They took some momentum into the period break. Gridden and Boisvert connect on a goal there. Capitals still with 17 seconds of a power play, but the Capitals now trail by 1. Kawring on the far side, tied up against the wall, down into the corner now. Muskegon still on possession, chipped that one high up on the glass. It gets stuck up on the apron as Toby will play it over to Jamison on the near side. Jamison has to spin off of it, sends Pearson to his rear end, and the Capitals will start up that far side wall. O'Donnell lifts the stick. Capitals have to retreat once again. Near side, Long sends that one down to the far side corner. Gadzhiev will slow it down as Muskegon starts up that far side wall. Lamb goes and takes over possession for Madison. Lamb has it poked around a bit in between the feet of a couple of players there for Muskegon, and up the near side it comes. Jamison intercepts towards the goal. Backdoor chance that time for O'Donnell. Long goes and picks up the miss on the far side half wall. A shot deflected up into the glass. It doesn't get out of play, but a shot block and a whistle. Slow to get to his feet is David Klee. The face-off upcoming in the offensive zone for Madison. On that far side to the left of the goaltender, Gadzhiev. Muskegon with their first lead of the night after the Boisvert shorthanded goal. Face-off is won back by the Capitals. Elias with a shot that finds its way over the goal. Brink sends one towards the goal. Rollers tried to slam one as well. And now it's back the other way on the stick of the Lumberjacks. Johnson takes back over at neutral ice and he'll get things moving forward, but Barry intercepts and starts back the other way. Icing if it gets there, sure enough it will. 16-13 to go in the third. 4-3 our score in favor of the visitors in Muskegon. A pair of third period goals from Sasha Boisvert already have Muskegon in the lead. Face off on the near side to the right of the goaltender, Gadzhiev in goal. Face-off is won back by Muskegon. Capitals put some pressure on. Mackey will hold. Mackey sends it down into the corner. Bernovic tries to get things moving to Delaney on the far side, and up that far side wall, Ty Henrich plays it off for Easton Young. Young scored the second goal for Muskegon. They get things moving down to the offensive zone where Mackey tied up with the body that time of a player from Muskegon, and the Capitals will intercept and start back the other way. Kuzma into the offensive zone with some speed, has a couple of players with him. Spins off a bit towards the slot. Bernovic with a shot, and it goes wide. Kuzma still tied up on that far side by Barry. Kuzma unable to get out of that tie-up, and now the Capitals able to keep things in the offensive zone. It comes to the near side. A nice job by Delaney to send one on net. Capitals go for a couple of changes as Bauer Barry starts up the near side wall. Brandt unable to get a piece of it, icing upcoming. Rather, they wave it off as Berzinch comes out of his cage to play it. Up that far side, Brandt shovels that one into the far side corner. Brendan Lamb goes to work. Nagel out front tried to feed it to Brandt. Lamb goes and grabs it out front. Lamb with a shot. Jack Brandt absolutely robbed there by Gadzhiev. 15-10 to go in the period. Still 4-3 our score in favor of the visitors. Face off to come on the near side. You'll see it, Lamb fed it that time to Brandt, and Brandt just put it right in the middle of the chest of the player there. Muskegon script across the chest of Gadzhiev. Face off on the near side to the right of Gadzhiev in goal. Face off this time is won by the Capitals. Nagel had it roll off the end of his stick on his shot attempt, and now Cody Kroll back the other way. Near side into the offensive zone, it's Galanik. Galanik has it taken away, and now Nagel behind the defense. Max Nagel with a chance. Nagel with a shot. A nice job to recover by the goaltender, Gadzhiev. It snuck through a little bit on that far side, but he kept it in front of the goal stripe. 4-3 Madison lead no longer exists. They led 3-2 after intermission. Pair of goals by Sasha Boisvert, who's on the ice once again for Muskegon. Have the Capitals with an offensive zone draw. Face off on the near side to the right of Gadzhiev in goal. Face off, shot that time, sits out front. And Nate Murray trips over the body that time of Gadzhiev. Murray gets up very slowly. Superman dived over the top of Gadzhiev that time. Came in with a whole bunch of speed. Too much, maybe, one might say. Face-off upcoming on the near side to the right of Gadzhiev in goal. Gadzhiev looks over to his right. Pair of players in the circle, one back that time. Murray with a shot right away, blocked by a shin pad. Jamison gets things moving back up ice, but it's intercepted by Boisvert. Poked away. Rice up ice with a whole bunch of speed. Has Long on the far side. Aiden Long towards the slot. Shot that time. Rebound sits out front. Long collects in the corner. Eventually Muskegon quickly able to recover as Solivay will play off the end wall to Bauer Barry on the far side. Barry starts up ice. And they'll go through center that time into the offensive zone. Solivay looking for options. Clears a body off the post, I believe, and comes wide to the near side. Gust down into the corner now. Boisvert shot looking for the natural hat trick, unable to find it. Now the Capitals back the other way. Murray behind the defense has Long with him. Murray throws on the brakes with a shot that goes wide the whole way. Bounces off the end wall and will start back. Rollers into the offensive zone. Would have been offside. Capitals still yet to touch up. Johnson thought he did. Instead it goes all the way back where Whitcomb bodies that time Ethan Elias, and the Capitals back the other way again. Rollers into the offensive zone. Rollers trying to settle it down, someone toward the net. Brink with a chance that time, and it jumps off of his stick. Rollers settles it down. Brink on the near side half wall. Brink looking for options. Far side, Elias pinches down. Elias with a shot, and it just goes wide, trickling past Gadzhiev. Down in the corner, the Capitals still putting some pressure on this Muskegon defense. Carring turns things over to Elias, and forward come the Capitals once again. Elias has his rush stuttered. and the Capitals will settle things down and send it down in deep. Brink, the first one on it for either side. The rest of the Caps go for a change as Carring starts up ice for Muskegon. 13-17 to go in the period as this one down in deep. Berzinch tried to leave there for a moment. Capitals trying to turn things over. Kuzma taken down to the surface and slow to get up out front as he's on the near side half wall. He'll go for a change now. Or rather, he'll stay on the ice. I thought he was going for a change. Instead, he stays out there after he was very slow to return to his feet as the beaver tail a little bit, slaps his stick on the ice a couple of times, and the Capitals start up ice up that far side wall by way of Austin Bernovic. Kroll looking for options. Kuzma falls to his legs once again, and up the near side now comes Matvei Gridin. Gridin to the far side. Kroll chips it down in deep. Barlagi, the first one there for either side, will play it up that far side wall where it caroms up and out of play off of the glass for a whistle. 12:33 to go in the third. 4-3 our score in favor of our visitors. Sasha Boisvert, 2 in this game, 1 shorthanded. That regained the lead for Muskegon. Their first lead of the night, actually, is a face-off to come on the far side to the right of Berzinch. Up until that Boisvert shorthanded goal, things have just gone back and forth. Caps won, Muskegon won. And Muskegon and Madison tally one aside to make it 2-2. Madison entered the third, and now Brandt behind the defense. Brandt with a shot, leaves there, backhanded by Lamb towards the goal. A nice job by Gadzhiev to quickly recover, as they'll just try to slap that one out of the zone. Instead, the Capitals take back over on possession. Brandt on the near side, battling 3 Lumberjacks, takes it into the corner, but Galanik able to settle things down and get things back started the other way for Muskegon. They got numbers, but they'll send it down in deep. Mackey chases after it, and on the near side, he'll just tie it up against the wall before eventually slamming it to the far. Caps with some speed through neutral. Now Nagel on possession. Nagel was robbed, and now Mackey. Mackey with a shot, that time stopped by the script. Muskegon across the chest of Shika Gadzhiev, who holds on for a whistle. As 4-3 our score. Muskegon in the lead as we head to our immediate timeout of period number 3, which is a great time to take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard presented by our friends at MadCapsHockey.com. MadCapsHockey.com, your one-stop shop for all things Capitals hockey. Chicago, 2-1 lead late in the third against Green Bay. Both teams over on the power play. 8-1 Tri-City leads Omaha after 2 periods of play in Kearney as well. But of course the game you are all here for, Capitals trailing Muskegon 4-3 in this one. Assistant coach Dominic Zombo chatting with some forwards here and kind of pumping the boys up a little bit. Talking with Sam Rice, who's listening attentively. 4-3 our score. Offensive zone draw. It's not like the Capitals haven't had chances here in the third, but you just hope for more if you're Andy Brandt and company on the Capitals bench out of those chances. Gadzhiev has played a heck of a game here this evening. I can finally say this evening, too, as we cross the 5 o'clock hour. Thanks for tuning in. That 3 o'clock puck drop here today. Kuzma, Delaney, Bernovic, Michaud, and Elias for Madison. Face-off tied up for a moment and won forward by Muskegon. Up the near side wall, Raftery into the offensive zone. Raftery towards the slot that time, looking for Spitznagel, who was trying to slam home his second of the night. Instead, Kuzma able to settle things down, and the Capitals will start up ice now. Up the far side, Bernovic gets a piece of it. Would have negated icing, but it never got there. As Veillot to the near side now, as he'll play pitch and catch with his defensive partner. Up the near side wall, Raftery towards the middle, intercepted along the way. Elias will play it off that far side wall. Icing on the Capitals, 11:20 to go here in the third. 4-3 our score in favor of the visiting Lumberjacks, with a face-off upcoming in the defensive zone to the right of goaltender Patrice Berzinch. Kuzma, Bernovic, Delaney, Michaud, Elias still remain. Boisvert, Salve, Whitcomb, Young, and Barry for the Lumberjacks. Top unit, top pair for both sides. One a little bit more tired than the other. Hold them up, boys. A warning given to Kuzma and company for the Capitals. Face-off this time is won forward by Madison, as Bernovic will just flutter things forward. Delaney puts some pressure on Young and company. So a couple of Caps will go for a change while that forecheck is happening. And across the ice now, Boisvert into the offensive zone. Boisvert's shot blocked along the way by Michaud. Michaud plays it to the slot that time. Luckily, no one home for Muskegon as Delaney sends things back the other way. O'Donnell, forecheck, the first one on it for either side. Reverse little hit into Bauer-Berry, and he'll play it to the near side corner where Sam Rice waits for Madison. Tries to feed it towards the middle. Long, intercepted, but Rice gets it back. Long kicks it towards the slot, and Muskegon able to get things out towards neutral. O'Donnell deflects it down in deep. No icing as Bauer-Berry drops back. Long achieves possession on the near side half wall. Play it down to the corner looking for Rice, but it's intercepted by Muskegon. And with 10.5 to go in the period, the Lumberjacks send it down into the far side corner. Barloghi on the near side will play things up the near side wall with the backhand and chip things out towards neutral. As the Capitals, Sam Rice kind of bullied out of possession there for a moment, but the Capitals forward able to recover. Ramsey looking for options near side, deflects up, but not out of the zone as Joe Connor now with a shot that's deflected by the shin pad. Out front, chance for Muskegon, intercepted, and now the Capitals had a chance back the other way. Long through neutral ice into the offensive zone. Max Nagel takes it into the far side corner. Nagel looking for options behind him. Up at the point now, Toby with a shot that goes wide the whole way. Gridden off the end wall, takes it to the far side. Nagel chases after it for Madison. A coin just sends out towards neutral ice. And now fresh off the bench, Cody Kroll into the offensive zone. Kroll in the near side corner for Muskegon. Has it tied up for a moment with Jamison. Jamison realizes he has some time and space and starts up the far side. Intercepted, a pass sent right back where it came from by Max Nagel. Capitals are able to clear eventually thanks to Jack Brandt skating it out. Nagel will send down. The Capitals forward goes for a change as the rest of his line mates go and apply some forecheck. Coring up the far side. Johnson towards the middle looking for Brandt. And now instead it's back the other way. Joe Connor behind the defense. Connor backhand scored. Muskegon leads 5-3. The Capitals have outplayed Muskegon in this period, but a pair of breakaways have the Lumberjacks out in front. Madison will want those last two back. That's what happens when you get into a track meet moving up and down the ice. A fast team like Muskegon wants to play in a track meet. Hey, let's get as many goals up on the board as possible. They like their chances up front with those players that they have, including the Northeastern commit Joe Connor, who slams one home to make it 5-3 Muskegon. Muskegon looking for their second straight come from behind victory, and right now, if things were to end as is, they would have it offside. Face-off coming in just outside the defensive zone for Madison. 8:55 to go in the third. 5-3 the score in favor of Muskegon. Johnson, Rellers, Brink, Elias, Michaud for Madison. Face-off, one to the far side by Muskegon. Henricks will play it back before Barry sends down. Michaud plays with the body. It comes down into the corner eventually as Elias will leave there for Brink. Brink tries to start up the near side wall. Instead, it's Michaud taking it up the far side as Johnson will play off the window, but it doesn't get high enough off the window to get out of the zone. Michaud off that far side glass and eventually clear the zone. Barry intercepted along the way. Henricks moving forward. It'll be icing if it gets there, but Berzinch has to cover for a whistle. 8:22 to go in the third. 5-3 our score. Muskegon in the lead over the Capitals. The faceoff upcoming on the near side to the left of Berzinch in goal. Kuzma and Boisvert to do battle in the circle. Top centerman for each team, I should say, is Coring at the point. Sends one towards the goal. It chips over the wall that time, or over the netting, as Barloghi unable to get possession. Boisvert through the legs to pass that one out front. Boisvert takes it to the far side, and he'll take it behind the goal now. Salve on possession. Salve looking for options to feed it out front. Instead, he'll have to cycle it to the near side where Boisvert takes over. Boisvert tried to thread one through the slot. It goes through the slot, but to the far side where his teammate eventually takes over. As Barloghi escaping a couple of players there. Barloghi sends it up that far side wall, chips off the side wall, and all the way back down as Muskegon forces the Capitals to regroup. Kuzma loses an edge again. Barloghi back behind the goal line, out front, chance, a huge save by Berzinch. Boisvert looking for the hat trick, and Berzinch says, not today, pal. 7:37 remains in the third. 5-3 the score. Face off on the far side to the right of Berzinch to follow. Two benches having some words between one another. 7:37, as I mentioned, remains here in this one. Capitals need something late here in this one. You'd like one now, so it's just a one-goal deficit in the waning minutes of the period. Towards the slot, a chance for Muskegon, intercepted by Nathan Toby, deflected that time by Aiden Long all the way back, where Coring and company can start things back up the other way for the Lumberjacks. That one kicked in by the linesman, and eventually the Capitals are able to get things moving up the other way. Long deflects that one down in deep. There's Veillot, picks up possession. Veillot drops back for Coring. Coring looks up that far side wall, and eventually where it goes all the way down, more an icing. 7:05 to go in the third. 5-3 the score. Is a face-off upcoming in the offensive zone. That face-off will be taken to the far side. Lamb, Brandt, and Nagel, the forward unit for Madison. Need a couple here to the Capitals. 3 unanswered here in the third for this Muskegon squad. Face-off won back by the Capitals, but Max Nagel unable to control possession, as now Dahlmeyer will send it down inside the offensive zone. Michaud sends his body up against the wall. Nagel picks up possession. Nagel looking for options. He'll try to play back to Michaud and eventually will. Michaud up that far side now into the offensive zone. Now come the Capitals by way of Max Nagel. Brandt in the middle looking for options. Nagel taken into the goaltender Gadzhiev, and Joe Connor on the far side will just backhand that one out towards neutral, where Charlie Michaud settles things down. Nagel trying to get things to the far side, and eventually the Capitals will enter the offensive zone. Nagel, far side, looking that time for Elias. Instead, it's a breakaway on the far side again. Connor with another one with a shot stopped by the shoulder of Berzinch. Capitals able to clear the zone, but Muskegon regroups at neutral ice. Nordberg takes back to Connor on the near side. Elias looking for options, circles around for a second before sending it to the far side, and it'll be backhanded down in deep by Jack Brandt. Chasing after it now is Rainers Rullers. Rullers pokes it away. Rullers looking for options, but a nice job by the defensive player there in a coin to get things just moving forward for his team for a brief moment. Capitals take over at neutral ice. It's Noah Barlagi activating himself up into the play, where it's kicked around a bit before Matvey Gridden, or rather that's David Klee, gets behind the defense. Klee toe drags and he loses the puck in the process, but the Capitals still on the defense here as Rainers Rullers picks up behind his own goal and takes it to the near side for Finn Brink. Brink looking for options, plays it to the near side and into the offensive zone. Brink towards the middle, sends it to the far side now as it caroms off the end wall and gives Muskegon numbers back the other way. Kroll, far side, jumps over the stick. Joe Connor out front, chance. Wasn't able to slam it home was Galanik, and now Madison back the other way. Johnson to Rullers, too far behind him. Mackey into the play. Mackey toe drags around one, shovels one towards the goal. The Capitals sent down to the surface with no call, and now back the other way come the Lumberjacks. Under 5 to go in the period as Finn Brink returns to the bench, and the Capitals now completed a line change in the midst of all that besides James Mackey, who goes for a change now. Bauer-Berry sends that one down in deep. 4:40 to go here in the third. 5-3 our score as Nathan Toby collects down on the near side. Delaney plays the hit that time on Pearson and gets things moving forward, at least for a moment, before Toby continues to try to shovel that one forward. Muskegon trying to get it past the defense. Instead, Bernovic will carry into the offensive zone for Madison. Throws on the brakes. Kuzma and Delaney kind of get tied up towards the goal, and Gadzhiev holds for a whistle. 4:18 to go in the third period. 5-3 our score in favor of our visitors here today in Muskegon. Face off to come on that far side wall. Kuzma, Bernovic, Delaney, Michaud, and Elias for Madison. Face-off is won back by the Capitals. Elias pokes to hold in and pokes again to get it down to the corner. Kuzma plays it up into the air. Brnovic out front with a chance. A nice job by Gadzhiev. Holds onto the foot that time. Kuzma on the far side. Sends one towards the goal. And Muskegon's netminder holds on once again for a whistle. 4:05 to go in the third. 5-3 the score. Face-off upcoming in the defensive zone yet again for Muskegon. The Capitals with just north of 5 minutes to go in the period. We'll keep an eye on Patrick Sperzinch on the one end of the ice. Lamb, Brandt, Nagel, Michaud, and Elias for the Capitals. Face-off one back. Brandt down into the corner now. Max Nagel on possession. Nagel looking for options, tied up against the wall by Cowring. Cowring holds him there. A second player joins for each side. Jack Brandt tries to escape the pile there for a moment. Puck escapes as well. Elias at the point, shot blockered into the corner. Race for it between Brandt and company, but it'll be won by Muskegon. A nice job by the Capitals to get things moving back the other way. Nagel has Brandt with him on the near side into the offensive zone. Ahead for Nagel. Nagel tried to shoot instead. He'll take it up to the top for Michaud. Far side Elias. Elias sends one towards the goal. Rebound sits out front. No one home for Madison. Nagel collects on the near side. It escapes the zone, and now Solove in. Solove has the foot it to beat the Capitals defense, but he throws on the brakes, and it goes out towards neutral ice where Coyne and company have to regroup with 3 to go. You have to assume the next time the Capitals have it in the offensive zone, Sperzinch would be coming with. Giving way for an extra attacker as a shot caroms out to the near side. Delaney on the near side wall, unsuccessful on getting anything moving forward. Whitcomb unable to get it to the point. Nordberg shot deflected wide. Kuzma chases after it, and the Capitals start back the other way. Numbers for Madison as they move forward now. Kuzma into the offensive zone, loses an edge. Offside are the Caps. 2:43 to go in the third. 5-3 our score. Face-off upcoming just outside the offensive end. Patrick Sperzinch patiently waits and looks at the Capitals bench. Delaney, Brnovic, Kuzma, Barlocki, and Ramsey for Madison. Face-off just outside the offensive zone. There's a face-off one forward by Kuzma. Kuzma with a quick shot, that time popped up. Offensive zone draw, 2:40 to go. You wonder if Sperzinch is coming after the draw is won, or do they take him before? They might take a timeout as well, the Caps might. Face-off to come on the near side to the right of Gadzhiev in goal. Timeout by Madison. Sure enough, the call. 2:40 to go in the third. 5-3 our score. Capitals needing something late here. Let's take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard presented by our friends at MadCapsHockey.com. Chicago picks up the win in Green Bay. 3-2 the score in that one. Michael Hage in overtime gives Chicago the win there. Tri-City with the 8-1 lead early in the third in Kearney. Green Bay picks up one, so they'll be in sole possession of second place, at least for the moment. Muskegon, if they pick up two, would be tied for second place in the conference. But of course, Green Bay and just about everybody else in the conference has games in hand on this Lumberjack squad. Chicago does move just 3 points back of Madison at the moment. Capitals could really use a win here today. Net vacant on the one end of the ice for Madison. 6 bodies out there for the Capitals. Brnovic, Delaney, Rice, Nagel, Michaud, and Kuzma for the Capitals. 2:40 put up on the clock. 5-3 our score in favor of Muskegon. 3 unanswered goals in the third. The Capitals need a face-off draw win here. And a quick goal. Have a chance at this one. Face-off is eventually won back by the Capitals. Brnovic with a shot that caroms off of a shin pad to the far side. Kuzma hustles after it for Madison. Puck bounces around a bit before Rice gets it to Kuzma on the far side half wall. Rice in the high slot near side, now Delaney. Delaney looking for options up top for Michaud. Michaud on the line, holds down. Delaney with a shot, goes wide of the goal. Young will play it up that far side wall. Kuzma will go down to hold. Young plays it with the glove out towards neutral ice. Caps will have to regroup. 2:10 to go in the period as Delaney starts up ice now, drops back for Michaud, and the Capitals come forward now by way of Andrew Kuzma. Kuzma into the offensive zone, has it on a edge for a second, towards the vacant net, doesn't pick up enough of an edge, hits the post, so no icing, but it'll eventually be taken over. A nice job by Sam Rice on the back check to give Madison a chance at this one. Rice to the far side, being pestered with along the way that time. Is on the near side now. Michaud tries to start up ice, instead he has to backtrack that time for Nagel. Nagel starts up that far side, Kuzma through neutral. Caps have numbers back the other way. Delaney on the far side looking to settle things down, plays it back. Boisvert will play it up into the rafters here at Cap Ice. Faceoff will come outside the zone. A minute and a half to go. Period number 3. Caps trail by 2. Rollers, Long, Brink, Johnson, Brandt, and Ramsey for Madison. So it's this second line joined by Aiden Long as the faceoff. One forward. Rollers loses his stick. Ramsey now to Brandt, who now to Rollers, who picks up and will carry into the offensive zone. Leaves there for Johnson. Held in by Brandt. Out towards neutral again. Boisvert turns it over, and Cody Kroll unable to keep possession for Muskegon. A tripping call could have came there for sure. No icing on the play as Gadzhiev will play it up that far side, up and out of play. Deflected, so a change will be allowed. 1:04 remains in the third. Capitals will throw that first unit back out there that they had. Rice, Bernovic, Delaney, Kuzma, Michaud, and Nagel. Face off on the far side, as I mentioned. Lots of hockey left in the season. Capitals would really like a win here today, though. Face-off one, back Delaney to the point. Michaud to Bernovic on the far side. Bernovic thought about it, and eventually he'll take it down to the corner, trying to set things up. You don't have a ton of time to set things up, though. Michaud sends one towards the goal. Intercepted. Boisvert forward for Kroll. Kroll tries to get things moving back the other way as the Capitals able to hold the line, they say, is Rice unable to hold the line out towards neutral. 40 to go. The Capitals need something quick here. Michaud near side for Nagel. Brings it around the kick plate. Gadzhiev thought about sending it the length of the ice. Rice down into the corner, now back up top for Kuzma. Michaud, 30 seconds to go in the period is Nagel on the near side half wall. Nagel looking for options down in the corner now. Delaney, far side Kuzma. Bernovic shot, scores! Austin Bernovic, second of the night, brings Madison back within one. 19.3 seconds to go in the third. That goal ties a Tier 1 franchise record for Madison for Bernovic, 25 on the season. As you'll see it on the far side, shot through the 5-hole of Gadzhiev. Same unit will go back to center ice and need another here in the next couple of seconds for the Capitals to force overtime. Hold them up, boys. Face-off one back by the Capitals. Up the near side, Nagel will carry into the offensive zone. Nagel trying to power his way towards the goal as Rice picks up. Rice to Kuzma. Kuzma far side, Michaud. Far side, one-timer, shot, missed the goal. Kuzma with 6 to go. They say it popped out of play. Bernovic had the one-timer there. Unable to slam that one home. Bernovic ties Alec Brotzman and Ryan Kerwin on that last goal. Capitals have 6.2 on the clock remaining to try and force overtime. Trailing by 1. Nagel, Delaney, Rice, Bernovic, Kuzma, and Michaud for the Caps. Capitals unable to win the draw. Muskegon shovels it out towards neutral. That'll do it for tonight's contest. Capitals unable to capture victory, having 3 separate leads in this game and having a chance late in this one. Madison falls on the season to 17-14, 4-2. As the Capitals unable to capture a point out of a 3-game weekend. Madison remains in 5th place in the conference. Muskegon jumps for a tie to 2nd. Here's that last chance. And there's the goal from Brandt late in period number 1. Met on the other side by a goal from Teddy Spitznagel, who backhands that one home. And then on the other end, Bernovic picked up goal number 24 of the season, point number 40. Second period, goal from Young got Muskegon started. to tie it at 2 aside, and then Andrew Kuzma gave Madison the 3-2 lead. Back the other way, Boisvert. I'm going to say his name again here in a moment. Boisvert again. Yes, these are different highlights. They took a 4-3 lead for the first time. Joe Connor, same move as Boisvert. Madison tying things up. Austin Bernovic bringing them within 1. But you see Boisvert celebrating after they took the lead. The Capitals unable to tie the game up. Capitals unable to take points away from a 3-game weekend. They'll be back at it Friday and Saturday night. Friday on the road. Saturday back here at Cap Ice as the Caps face off against the Green Bay Gamblers. As it'll be a great night of hockey here as the Capitals are in desperate need of points as we go down the stretch here this season. That'll do it for our coverage here on Flow Hockey. For our folks in the back room, thanks for joining us. Caps fall 5-4.